Hey folks, it's Brent with the Downing Group at Keller Williams. Hey, this week we're going to talk about HOAs and what does that mean? So welcome back to our show this week. I thought it would be a good idea to, we have never talked about what an HOA is, Homeowners Association. If you have bought a house and you live in a neighborhood that's like a planned unit development, that's another one of the terms. Usually there's a homeowners association involved, and basically what that is it's like a corporation that has rights to put restrictions on the properties that are under its jurisdiction. So, for example, if you live in a subdivision and there's an HOA. They have the right to say, to set up covenants and restrictions that says, you can't park on the street at night, you have to build such and such size home. They can have the right to approve or disapprove any kind of changes to your house and all these things. And I get people that tell me, we don't want any HOAs, we don't want anybody telling us what to do with our property. And, I get that. But at the same time, when you live in a subdivision or an area that has an HOA, there are ways that they protect your property values too. So, you don't have a bunch of mixed use stuff going on in your neighborhood, or people are taking care of their grass and not parking cars in the yard and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with parking cars in your yard if that's what you want to do. Except you just can't do it in these kind of neighborhoods. So they do have legal authority to enforce their rules and restrictions. They have the legal authority to foreclose on your property if you don't pay the dues that you have agreed to pay when you buy a house in a subdivision or an area that has an HOA. And so, that's serious stuff. You cannot just ignore them. So when you're looking to buy a house, and you should always know whether or not there is an HOA there, what are the covenants and restrictions, and make sure that you're okay with it. I'll get people say, oh, I didn't know there was an HOA, in some of the subdivisions I've lived in, and they're not following the rules, and, you're like, hey, you cannot do this or that, or, and, they claim that they didn't know there was an HOA. Well, that doesn't work legally. If you buy a property, it's up to you to find that out, or your agent. So anyway, those are a few facts about HOAs. They're not a bad thing for a lot of people, but some people, hey, you want to, shoot your guns and have your goats in your yard and cars in your yard, whatever, and that's cool too. Just know what you're getting into when you buy a house, okay? So any questions about any of that, give us a call here at the Downing Group. We'd be glad to help you with more about that or any other real estate need. Have a great week.